Hey, what is up guys? Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely great and welcome to another episode of Monday Show. But I'm not doing well, as you can see from my hand. I'm not doing well. Anyway, so today in this episode of Monday Show, I have the review of this iPad 2018. That's my iPad 2018, and let me show you what are the good things, what are the bad things. That means my review of this iPad 2018. Okay, let's start with the design and the build quality. So this thing is a champ of design and the build quality because this looks like super premium. No one can complain about an iPad, because if you want an iPad, then this iPad is this is the best tablet on the market right now, in my opinion. As you can see, the look is really great, and the software, because the iPad OS, that is really great, and that works seamlessly with the iPad. So I think there is no such issues with the iPad. So that's about the build quality, and it's pretty durable. And let me show you what are the buttons. So here, as you can see, there is one button that's for power on off, and there are two buttons for volume up and volume down, and that is the home button. As you can see, here is the home button. So yeah, pretty much these are the ports, and there you get your front camera, your back camera, the speakers and the microphones. This thing has a headphone jack, so that's really great. It has an headphone jack. So yeah, pretty much that's about the build quality, and this is pretty great. All right, now let's jump to the next section. So the next one is display quality, because you use your phone, tablet or laptop or anything daily. So in daily basis, the display matters a lot, because if you are using a low res display what has some problems, then your eye may affect. But the display on this iPad is super, like the display is very vibrant. You can see in outdoor lighting conditions, and the display is, I think in my opinion, the display is really great. There is no such complaint, but there is a little complaint. This is not a laminated display, it's a non-laminated display. That means this display is a little outward from the actual display. Like if I do this, can you see that? Like it's not over the display, so there is another extra glass over the display. What is also not that bad, it's protecting the display, as with the consumer of Bangladesh, India. So we just usually throw back the things. Like it's I cannot say, but we are a little hardcore user, so it may help. But there is a little problem if you have the white one. I think there is no black one. Anyway, you can see some extra edges at the corners. You can see some blacks. That's the reason you can use some black wallpapers maybe. So this thing ships with A10 Fusion chips, that's 16 nanometer, and the RAM is 2 GB, but I think it may include a little more, like 3 GB or 4 GB would be more than enough. But still in 2 GB I have no such complaints. It's working perfectly. As you can see, every single apps are opening and closing. Can't do much. So every single apps are opening and closing perfectly with literally no issues like that. And here, as you can see, that every single apps are working properly, perfectly. There is like no lags. I never found that this thing is lagging because of that RAM. So I think the processor and RAM are pretty capable, and in this days. And if you want to see like how PUBG or any other games works on this device, then you can go to my another channel where you can see that playing PUBG on this iPad 2018. There is a video, and this thing can play PUBG at smooth and balanced extreme. So that's a good sign. It can play into 60 frames per second. So for PUBG players, this thing is perfect for a low budget device. Anyway, so that was all about the processor and also the RAM. Now let's jump into the which number? Fourth section. Now it's all about the camera. Exactly to be said, like people doesn't use camera on their iPad that much other than scanning the documents, but your brother is much more a little ahead than that. So I also did some portrait photography with Focus app that's free for iOS or your iPhone or iPad. Then you can use that to get some portrait, and I also recorded some videos. Here I will just throw all the samples, videos or photos or the slow motions or the front camera audio, back camera audio and all the stuffs, and you can judge from yourself how good these things. And I think the back camera is 8 megapixels and the front one is 1.2 megapixels. So see all the samples and let me know in the comment section what you can see. I'm so sorry because I cannot take all those good qualities because of Alright, this is the front camera video. The audio is coming directly from the iPad, and this is the sound quality. And let me know what you think about the audio quality and the sound quality. And here is my little brother doing his thing. So here is the back camera shooting the video, and audio is also coming from the iPad directly, and there is some random bikes are going on. Do you want to say something?
No.
No, he don't want to say something. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed all those sample photos or videos or the slow motions I just took for you guys. It was little, but you have to manage it. I also have to manage it. I cannot do that much. Battery, and I have to say this thing, if this thing has something that like super, that's the battery, because it has more than 8,900 or 9,000 around battery, and this thing like performs like a champ. There is no such issues with the battery. Like the battery works really well in whole days. I like now it has 83% of charge, and I charged it like 2 or 3 days back, and I was not using these things, just a little casual use, and played 5 matches of PUBG TDM. 2 is local normal TDM, and the other 3 is that new match that came to PUBG. So that's thing. After that, after 2 days, it also had 83% of battery, so that's huge plus point. I don't think there is any complaint about the battery. So the battery is working pretty well for my uses, and how I do use this thing as an extreme device, because that's the primary device iPad I have. So I think the battery life is perfect. There is no such complaint about the battery. But one thing I have complained about is the camera. I can't tell you how bad the camera is, but for an iPad this thing is user interface, and that's about the iPad OS. So as you know that when the iPad OS came, I was really excited, and I'm still excited. I'm still using all the things. I'm like feeling very good with the iPad OS, because this thing works fluidly. I can go back to the apps, I can click on something, I can use this thing as an iPad. I can use multi apps, where I can get one apps over here, and I can get another apps over here, and I can get another apps over here, and like I can use another iPhone inside of my iPad. That's what I feel like that. So this iPad OS is like super like optimized. It's working like a champ. There is no issues with the operating system, and you will love this if you have this kind of iPads or any iPad OS. So that was all for this review. I think I couldn't give you a lot more information these days. I'm so sorry for that. If you have any questions on your mind, let me know in the comment section. It's paining, bro. Anyway, if you have something on your mind, then let me know in the comment section. I'll be really happy to answer you. And don't judge me at my looks, because I couldn't get ready for the video. I just randomly did this, and I also don't have time, so I need to go to the doctor. Anyway, so that was all for this one. See you in another one. Till then, what you have to do is subscribe and press the bell icon. And yeah, that's it. Goodbye.